Hi, Oracle Application Implementation Project Stages. I will talk about the stages, the steps, milestones, whatever you have to follow to implement any Oracle project, either cloud, e-business, on-prem, Fusion, whatever. So this is the steps you must follow from scratch. For example, from collect the requirement until the production go live. Welcome to my channel. So let's start. First of all, what is a project? As you know, that a project is not a short-term activity for Oracle Cloud. At least the term of any project related to Oracle, the minimum periods may be between 3 months to 6 months. So it's not a short-term activity to be completed in a matter of days. It requires intensive analysis, thoughtful thinking, serious decision making in core critical business activities. The decisions taken at every stage are critical, and it's very important to take the correct decision. There is no going back after performing final step. So you have to understand how a long-term project is broken up into phases, milestones, tasks, whatever, and completed smoothly. You will see what is the different stages in Oracle Application Implementation Project. So before go to the next slide, the project is a team. Project manager with a technical team, with a functional team, with a business analyst team, with the team of the client. So we have a two team. The team of the company who came to implement the project, and the other team of the current or the existing team of the organization. For example, if I have organization A, there is one IT team or Oracle team for this organization A. And there is another organization which is organization B, which came to organization A to implement a project or Oracle project. So there are two teams, one team for the organization A, and another team for the organization B. The organization B, who is responsible to implement the Oracle, the team is project manager, consultant team, as a functional for example, finance team, supply chain functional, HR functionals, and the same for a technical. It depends on which modules these organizations are going to implement. And on the other side, with the organization A, also you can find a project manager. You can find also a technical team, whatever, to work together to implement and to succeed, or the aim is to success the project. Functionals is, as you know, it's responsible for implement, collect the requirement, sit with the business users, also deliver the requirement for any technical scenarios or any integrations to the technical team. So it's the main consultant in the project is the functionals. The project managers has to follow the stages, has to follow the milestones, has to go to the approval from the organization. He responsible to allocate the people on the project, technical team, functional team, whatever. So he is responsible to success or complete the project. This is a brief of the team, and also it depends again which modules these companies are going to implement. Only finance, only supply chain, only HCM, manufacturing, blah blah blah. So it's not a short-term activity. There is no going back. It's very you have, it's very critical. Every stage is very critical, so you have to smoothly going step by step, stage by stage, and so on. So let's go to the next step or next slide. There are a lot of Oracle project type. First of thing is implementation. Implementation means that in these types of project, the customer is implementing Oracle or ERP system for the first time, or re-implementing existing system to another new system. All legacy system data needs to be migrated to the ERP system. This is the meaning of implementation or project type implementation. The second one here is support or maintenance. This is a second type of project in Oracle ERP. It's also called as a maintenance project. Customer is running his business through ERP. Customers require support for the daily issues. Daily issues means incidents, tickets as a service request, and the new change requests, change enhancement. This is the support or maintenance. The third type here is upgrade or patch application. In this type of project, customer is upgrading from earlier version of ERP to higher version of ERP. Patch application may be quarterly update or scheduled maintenance. Project type number 4, rollout. Rollout in this type of project, the existing ERP system is going to implement for different countries or region. This is the rollout project type. Project type number 5, which is last in this list, assessment or proof of concept. Due diligence and health check on current scope for assessment of existing solution or scope. So before allocate to the project or going to implement, you have to know what is the type of the project, because depends on the type of the project you will know the goals of the project. I'm going to provide support. I'm going to implement from scratch. I'm going to upgrade, from example, from e-business to cloud, from e-business release 12.1.3 to release to another release, for example, release 12.2.10.9, whatever. Is it rollout? Is it assessment, proof of concept? So depends on the project type, you will know what is your goal, what is your duties, what is your rules, and also the duration of the projects is different, depends on the type of the project. For example, implementation, it means that you will start from scratch. So maybe the duration 1 year, 2 year, 6 months. Support maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Upgrade maybe 3 months, 2 months, whatever. Roll out 4 months, and so on. So this is the types of the project. Also in your CV, you can also include that in this project I did the implementation. In the other project I did support maintenance. Third project, it's the type of this project rollout. So it will be meaningful, a CV, to share it with the companies, that they will know how many implementation project type you worked, how many implementation of rollout you finished or completed, and so on. Sorry. So let's go to the next slide. So this is the difference between the project type for Oracle or ERP projects. For Oracle Cloud or on-prem methodologies. Now you are going to talk about the stages. For Oracle ERP, there are methodologies, that which methodologies you will follow to complete your project. There are 2 methodologies. Oracle Unified Method as OUM. This is the latest or the new implementation methodology is intended to be used for all range of Oracle products. It's replacement of Oracle application implementation methodology as AIM. So we have two methodologies, OUM, Oracle Unified Method, and Oracle Application Implementation Methodologies. This is the old version, this is the new version or the current version. Because in some cases or like interview questions, which methodologies you follow? Which methodologies you worked before? Are you follow, for example, OUM? Are you working for AIM? Whatever. We were doing mainly AIM. AIM because this is the first methodology, which is the older version of Oracle methodologies for Oracle eBusiness Suite implementation projects and other projects. Again, recently Oracle started using or started upgraded to OUM for all projects including Oracle Cloud implementations. So this is the old version, this is the new version. It took some time to transform our service to new code of OUM. For example, for each methodologies there are a lot of documents. As I told you before, stages means for each stage you will deliver a document. So for each of these methodologies there are a lot of documents. For example, RD050, this is for gather business requirement. Another document code BB080, this is a future business model. BR100, define application setup. MD70, technical document design. TE40, test script document. But after OUM, it takes some time to be conversant, like what are the equivalent document code names and how to call them. So the difference is the document name code. For example, here it's BR100, maybe for OUM AT100 and so on, and how to call them. So here Oracle Unified Method OUM versus AIM. This is a sample difference. As I told you, for each methodologies there are a lot of documentation. For AIM, this is the document code. For OUM, this is the document code. يعني this document here equivalent in this document code or in OUM. And the OUM document name the same. For example, BB80 in AIM is equivalent to RD011, which is meaning future process model. Again, for example, BR100 in AIM equivalent to MSC010 or MSC02, business data structure setups. TE20, again TE20 or TE120, unit test checklist. CV040, and so on. So this is the difference, but here the meaning is common for this or this. So in some cases you can follow the AIM methodologies. So if you follow in the current project whatever the AIM, so you have to deliver some of these documents, and vice versa. If you follow OUM, Oracle Unified Method methodology, so you have by the end of the project you have at least deliver 5 or 6 document of OUM. And also it doesn't mean that you have to deliver all of these documents. No. For example, I can make BR100 and for example test scripts and for example user guide. For another project I follow OUM, so I can for example create or implement RD011 and BR or TE20 and TE025. It depends on the requirement, it depends on the project type and so on. But the Oracle guide you that in case of you are going to make design specification and you follow OUM, so this is the document code. So through this document code you can try to ask your friend or search on Google I need sample like this document DS140. And another project, the company which you are working with, they ask you that we are going to make a document for integration test scenarios, integration test results. So okay, I know that this document code in OUM is TE035 and AM TE030. So I can also ask my friend or searching on Google to download a sample, to take this sample document and apply my current project or current requirement on this sample. And also in this video I will show example for these documents to be to clear the full picture of methodologies. And also, if you are working with a consultant company, it's ask you that in this project we will follow OUM, in this project we will follow AIM. So whatever they will tell you, you will follow what they decide or what they told you. Next slide here. Oracle Unified Methods, which is last version of Oracle ERP methodologies. There are a lot of stages, or that the first point or the first advantage of OUM is focus. It's enabled project to clearly define business scope. This planning result in a striker monitoring program, better grasp of the business and solid base to get aligned with the client's expectations. Second point here is flexibility. When combined with activity and the task differently, OUM can be applied to many types of implementation. So it's meaning of flexible. It's not applied to only a specific type of implementation or whatever. No, it's applied to many type of implementation. Dynamism is experienced IT professionals have contributed with their expertise to develop OUM methodology. Project or team also can take advantage of these successful and proven practices and apply them to the industry standards. Quality, iterative approach. Iterative means that you can repeat the same steps to get the best quality, and also this iterative include more testing, include more validations all along the implementation process instead of quality test during final stages only. Next point, profitability is facilitate project cost control via the use of flexible work breakdown structure. Breakdown structure that enables to carry out essential tasks only. Risk reduction, that implementation of an iterative method mitigates the lack of matching requirement, because now you using iterative, so every time you find some lack, some gap, some whatever, so its iterative method mitigates the lack of matching requirement. A key approach of every iteration with OUM is to identify and reduce most significant risks of the project. It means it reduces the risk. This enables the most critical process to be addressed as soon as possible during the project's life cycles, which facilitates a measurable reduction of planning and budget risks. The projects are delivered in stage in order to reduce risk. Each stage enables a control point with regards to the objects of the project. This is the OUM advantage of because Oracle recently upgraded from AIM to OUM. So with the OUM, this is the goals, or this is the advantage of OUM methodologies. But either you're using OUM or AIM, by the end you have to deliver the project, you have to deliver the documents of the project, you have to get the sign off from the client, you have to get approved also from the client and the business users that the implementation is matching or meets the stakeholders, business unit, business user, owners requirement. The Oracle stages available in projects. Let's start by the Oracle stages, and also I will try to share some of the document as example or as a sample to show you this document is for 1 to 3, this document is like this shape, and so on. First of thing, you have to definition of project management, operational analysis, solution design, building stage, transition stage, production stage. So you have 6 stages for Oracle project. We will talk about one by one in the next slide. So let's go. First of all is definition of project management. Now I am going to implement a new project for organization X. So what is the definition of the project management? This is the role of project manager or your project manager to define Excel sheet or whatever the project management or definition of the project. This is stages, milestones, tasks, team allocated, modules, functional areas, tasks, technical implementation, integrations, all of these points, and this is with within date, within delivered document, within everything. So this is a project manager must develop this document to deliver it to the client, and the client, once he receives this document, he will know that this project will be completed within 6 months, within 1 year, whatever, and with the deliver of this project we will receive, or this company will implement to us finance modules, supply chain modules, HCM modules, VAT, integrations, blah blah blah. So the success to any project is a well through the project plan at the very beginning, considering the requirement, available resources. In real time, the whole project is broken into different phases, different milestones. For each phases there are a lot of tasks, a lot of different team, and so on. For each phase, detailed plan is laid out, which it turns account for the overall project plan. Again, project plan must be revised when there is a change in the contract or requirement. For example, for example, for any point you need to make a change, or the customers ask you, I need to change this point, I need to add for example integration, I need to remove this point, I need to add. So this is the flexibility of OUM, that you can add, you can change during the time of the project. But in sometimes you cannot change, you cannot add, because for example there is 1 year, or there is for example after this month the go live will be, for example, 1st of February, 1st of March. So there is no enough time to receive changes from the client. But whatever other than that, you can receive the changes, and it depends of the time remaining to deliver the whole project. What is the documentation to be prepared from this stage? We said that there are stages, right? And for each stage you have to deliver document. So for the first stage, it's still definition of the project. What is the resources? What is the time? What is the phases? What is the requirement from the client? What is the integration? What is the team allocated? Is there any broken phases into different or into small phases? It's like an overview of the project. So the documentation to be prepared is project plan. Project plan either finalized or draft. This is by your project manager. He created as a draft or finalized, because he will get a sign off of this document from the project manager and the stakeholders and the owners from the organization. A write-up about the client and the consultant. Again, it's like two teams. Team for the implementation, team for the client or the organization. Either finance team, IT team, consultant team, stakeholders, management level, and so on. So this is the first stage. The main document is not related to you. It's related to your PM, project management. Next stage is definitions of operational analysis. In this stage, your work or your job will be started, because the consultant must carry out following activities. Activities like clearly understand contractual obligations made between client and consultant with respect to the work to be performed. In this stage, you will be aware about the activities, the requirement, which modules you are going to implement. In each modules, which features you are going to enable. What is the business scenarios? What is the gaps? What is the requirement? This is the stage. Your role will be start from this stage. Second point, detailed study on the client business and organization structure. You will ask about the organization structure. You will meet the business users. Please tell me the procure to pay cycle. Please tell me the order to cash. Please tell me the approval. Please tell me what is the accounting, for example, segments you are using. What is SLA? Is it accrual? Is it encumbrance? What about budget? What about customers? What about invoices types? Do you have any legacy system? This is business requirement. It's detailed study on the client business. Capture the current business process as they are following. It's as is documentation. Because this is the first stage for me as a consultant, so I have to capture the current business of this organization processes, like documentation is as is documentation. As is that these documentations, it's describe the current business process of my or of this organization. That this organization in B2B they do BR, BO without approval, with approval after receipts. There is no there is no inspection. There is inspection and blah blah blah. For order to cash, they create sales order, deliver, create the invoice, auto invoice, blah blah blah. For GL, the transfer to GL, it will be scheduled, it will not be scheduled. The invoices type 1, 2, 3. The cash management, there is no integration, there is no bank statement uploaded automatically, and so on. Collect requirement from client, all of the peoples, business users, end users, managers, client, management, stakeholders, to what they expect. What they expect means after the project is finished or completed. What's your expectations? Is it transformation? Is it transitions? Is it enhancement? Is it transform from example transfer from manual process to automatic process? Because by the end you will get the sign off, you will get the approvals. If it's not meet their expectations, you will not get sign off, you will not get the approval. So this project will be hold until you meet their expectations and requirement. Because of that, I told you for each stage it will be critical. You have to focus what is the output must be from this stage. What is our requirement? What is our goal for each phase, for each stage, for each milestone? it must be also clear for you to deliver the project successfully. Requirement with respect to functional side as well as technical side is collected, because from the scratch I told you in your team functional people, technical team people, technical for any technical work or any technical tasks, for example reports, integrations, whatever, record the data or historical data, upload historical data, database, whatever, anything which is related to technical, it will be from technical people side. For the functional, as I told you, finance, supply chain, HCM, they have to collect requirement from manager, client, business users, end users, management level, to know what they expect. And also you as a functional, you will be like in between technical people, your technical people, and business users. For example, if business users, they have a lot of legacy systems plus Oracle, so in this case they will, by the end, they will make integrations between this legacy system and the Oracle, either ERP, cloud, business, blah blah blah. So you have to sit with them and collect the requirement and sit with your technical team to deliver them the expectations or the requirement. The flow process will be like A, B, C, D, and so on. Document bottlenecks faced with the existing system in place. Most important point is that get the document signed from the client. Again, without signed from the client, it means that your project either hold or failed. Normally speaking, once the requirement is expressed at this stage, it will be taken care by the consultant. However, in real-time requirements gathering becomes a day-to-day activities in many client place, which is a highly unprofessional way of working. Documentation to be prepared of this stage of operational analysis. RG10, for example, current finance and operating structure. RD20, current business baseline. RD50, business requirement scenarios. Again, it's not mandatory that I have to prepare all of this. You can prepare one of them, you can prepare two of them, you can prepare all of them. For example, I need to show you example of this document for for example, RD50, I open its business requirement scenarios, because if this is the first stage of you, what is the business requirement, the document will be like this. What is the creation date, reference, version, because you can make a lot of versions. For example, I create this version and I show it to business users, they reject. Again, I will make what, version 1.1, and the date like this, and the reference, for example, this, and this business requirement for which module. So for each modules you have to create business requirements. If you have 5 modules in finance you are going to implement, so you have to create this document for 5, one document for payable, receivable, cash management, VAT, fixed assets, GL, and so on. Procurement, one for procurement, inventory, and so on. So approvals, if you have any approvals or whatever, or who will be revision this document, he will put the name here. This is a version name, because as I told you, if you create a lot of versions you have to include it here. The document name, blah blah blah. This is a description. Go to down. What is the document? This is included what? Fixed asset structure, addition. So you just make 1.1. This is a page number like this, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for each point you collect specific requirements, so you have to mention all of the requirement which you received from the client, either through meeting, face-to-face, Teams, whatever. You have to include or write everything, because depends on that the client will sign off, yes, this is the requirement, yes, this is our current business case, or our current business scenarios, and so on. After that you will start, this is like a standard questionnaire, blah blah blah. Here, as I told you, as is, based on above various as is process understood were drawn. To be depends on this, what is the requirement or what is the expectations. So this will be transfer or transition from as is process or the current business scenarios to be process. So go to down, here's the process. Start to, for example, fixed asset structure. The process, fixed asset structure, business function, blah blah blah, date, owner. Here is a process. This process explain what fixed asset structure. Okay, so EDCB maintains the assets at which level. A description, this process is triggered if you, and so on. What is the number, for example, type and source. For example, here for process ID, what is the description? Assets will be categorized into blah blah blah. What is the type? Is it internal or what? What is the element business? Is it asset addition? Is it asset retirement? Is it asset book? What is the result from these organizations? Location of assets. What is the agent? What is the status? Go for the process of asset addition. This process explains procurement of fixed assets addition. Assumption, what is the event? This trigger if we want to transfer one location, and so on. What else? Receive the invoice from vendor, record the supplier invoice, validate, issue, transfer, and so on. Again, what about the assets depreciation process? Charge depreciation assets. What is, you see, for each process you will follow the or you will write the business requirement as is, and for each process you can break down into process ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 until you cover all of the business scenarios as is, or the current business scenarios. This is example for fixed asset. Again, asset transfer. What is process ID, description, and so on. Asset retirement. So it's cover all of the cycles of fixed assets. Also, I can maybe include these documents in description to allow you to download it. You got my point? This is as is. What is the name of this document? Business requirement. This is the first document you have to deliver. Before of this document, also I need to share with you, there something is questionnaire. Now I am going to implement, but I don't know for each module what is the questions should I ask to collect the business requirement or the current business requirement. Oracle did some questionnaire. For example, I will open questionnaire for fixed assets. This is a questionnaire. Now I'm going to meet the business requirement, business users, stakeholders. Which question I will ask? This is a question. Questionnaire for fixed assets. Another document, questionnaire for payable, questionnaire for GL. You have to weigh, either follow like this document, or you can develop. Develop means what? You can open, for example, the pages of setups of EP and collect the requirement. I will open common options for payables. What is the field are there, so I can build some question on this form. I can go to, for example, create account. I will ask some question related to create account. I will go to this is fixed assets. Fixed assets means additions, retirement, transfer, reclass, reinstate, upload, add. So for each process I can develop in my mind a lot of questions. Else you can follow like this. For example, how do you maintain your fixed assets? How do you audit? Who perform tasks associated with closing? What is your accounting cycle? What are fixed asset accounting reporting requirements? What account code or descriptions are required? Is there any required for online distribution or whatever? Do the separate business unit run their own fixed assets? Do you have a security requirement who can enter data for fixed assets? Do you have a security report? Map HGL user to menu structure, for example. Do you have liquidation? Do you have category alias? Do you have accounting alias? So you got my point. So this is like some questionnaire before doing RD 50. If you don't know the questions, you can follow like this questionnaire document to give you some idea of which question type you can ask the business to get answers, and also to transfer or transform or take these answers and make as is documentation depends on these answers of questionnaire. For example, another questionnaire here for GL questionnaire. Again, I'm going to implement GL. Yes, so I will ask some questions related to ledger, related to currency, related to rules, related to period, related to how many ledger, do you have secondary ledger, do you have reporting ledger, do you have consolidation, what about the chart of account, what about the cross currency, what about allocation, right? Else I can follow like this. Do you have to plan to have a new chart of account? What is account values? How many segments? Which is going to maintain the segment? Do you have multi-currency? What is your policy? I hope now you got what's the meaning of questionnaire. So this is, again, it's guide you which types of the questions you can ask for each module the client to get the current or the business requirement scenarios. For example, again for EB, the same. Here, how do you handle vendor numbering? Do you have preferred vendors? Do you have vendor listed? Are vendor categorized? Either standard employee expense? What is the current process to generate expense? And so on. So you can start by this. Once you collect the answers, you can start to build the RD50 like business requirement scenarios that users or business units, after I sit with you, after I asked you these questions, I got these answers. So depends on these answers, I will build the business requirement scenarios, and after I build it, I will share it with you to make revisions and either approve or sorry, you missing, there is some missing, there are mistakes, whatever's. Again, it will be I will again open the same document and update the version and include or correct the mistakes. Let's go back to slide. Okay, this is the second stage, but from here your work starting. Next step is solution design. After making serious understanding analysis on straightforward current business practices and the future requirement. So again, in the time you collect the business or the current business practice, you also build the future requirement, because I told you from as is to be. Yes, you now you are going to you make addition of assets like 1, 2, 3. Is it good with you, or you need to add something, you need to adjust something? So I collect the current and try to build the future requirement. So the consultant must begin the process of providing solution to straightforward aspects. It's a straightforward solution is not possible. Think about the possibility of workaround. Workaround means what? You have three types of solutions in Oracle. Depends on the requirement from the stakeholders, business user, end user, and so on. For example, now I sit with the users. He told me I need to make EB invoice with, for example, include my name and my manager name and my CEO name. For example, the current form of the EB, there is no fields for CEO name, for manager name. So in this case, you have three types of solution. First of thing, you have to search for any standard way which is provided by Oracle to cover this requirement. If you didn't find, so you go to the second level, which is workaround. Workaround means, so okay, I will build or custom 3DFF to cover your requirement. In this 3DFF, you can include your name, your manager name, your CEO name, whatever. If he reject the second one as a workaround, you can go to the third solution, which is technical solutions, either through personalization, report, custom form, blah blah blah. So first of thing, standard. Is there any way in Oracle to meet this requirement? No. Okay, I go to the second. What? Workaround. I developed three types of workaround. I have to show the users or the requester these three types of workaround. If he approved, it's okay, خلاص, it's done from your side. If not, so you will go to the final as a technical solution. Okay, time. Enough analysis has to be done in drafting. As I told you, it's like a draft document, business requirement analysis document, and after that it will be finalized once you got sign off approved from the stakeholders. It's also known as 2P process. Once the solution is decided on, the same must be communicated to client seeking acceptance. For each document you are seeking acceptance. You are not work alone. Whatever the document you delivered, whatever the document you created, developed, blah blah blah, you have to share it with what? With the requesters, with the client. This is the document of this stage. Is it okay? Why okay? Why acceptance? To go forward for the next stage. So without acceptance from the clients, you cannot go to the next stage. And also this is responsible or this is a duty of the duties of your project manager. He must follow with the client, share with them the document, the business requirement as is and to be, and also looking to get the acceptance as soon as possible from the client to allow his team to go forward and complete or finish the project within the time which is provided at the beginning of the project. When the client is satisfied with the solutions, consultant can put an end to his research work on providing alternative solution, because as I told you before, once he give you accept, it's done for you. Go to the next. What next? What next? This is the way. What is the documentation to be prepared from solution design stage? BP80 as a business process design, which is 2B. The earlier stage is as is. The future is 2B. PR100 high level gap analysis. PR30 business requirement mapping. MD50 application extension functional design. MD70. For example, now I got the 2B. Now I in my current system I do AB manually. To B I need it automatically, so I need to include the 2B, the future process, in BB80. If you see here MD50 and MD70, I told you before that some solutions as technical integrations, any gateway, legacy systems. In this case, you have to develop MD50. This MD50, once you implement it, you will share it with your technical, so the technical will create, depend on this document, MD70. This is MD50 and 70 related to any technical solutions you are going to provide. For PR100 is high level gap. Gap means what? In some cases my current business is not covered in Oracle. As I told you, it's not covered in Oracle as a standard or workaround. So the gaps will happen in these cases, that I need, for example, assets to create invoice by microphone, for example. Sorry, this solution is not provided in Oracle, either as a standard or workaround. So in this case, you will find some gap between the organization or the client requirement and the software, which in this case will be Oracle. So in this case, you have to develop a high level gap analysis. This gap analysis that the client needs 1, 2, 3, but in Oracle it's only 4, 5, 7, for example. And business requirement mapping. So again, let's share with you PP80, MD50, 70 to get what I said, or the picture will be clear more for you. We said B80, right? Future process model as 2B. As you see here, again, this is the name. Again, for fixed assets, the name, blah blah blah, names, versions, if you have create a lot of versions, and go to down. The content, go to down. The same like the previous, it will be process ID event, but in this case you will put the expectations, the 2B process. The clients need this process to be in this format. For the assets addition, this process describe and so on. So here, what is the asset addition? You can also create one diagram for as is current asset addition, and the same for 2B. So the client will go to, yes, my current asset addition cycle, this one. I need it like this one. So for each process, you can create 2 as is asset addition, 2B asset addition, asset disposal as is asset disposal 2B, depreciation as is depreciation 2B, and so on. For the asset this we covered. Again, the process steps for mass addition. After performing blah blah blah, we will run mass addition. Review blah blah blah, identification, employee entry. So the diagram as 2B if you not create the as is, and this diagram you will create the process as here. So it will be clear for the client that the 2 process depends on your expectations. Each process will be like this way. And here, as you see here, for fixed assets, there are 2 segments, major, minor. The location will be how many segments, city, location, blah blah blah, in detail. So once the user or the client receives this, he will that yes, this is my expectations. Depends on that, either accepted or rejected. In case of reject, again you will sit with the users, business users, to collect or to get where is the gap, where is the missing, where is the mistakes. Confirm it, again come to this document and update the version 1.1 and include the mistakes or correct the mistakes or include the missing and so on. Again for BB80, for example, for purchasing, the same way process. So this is a process, how to create new supplier. This is a diagram. So diagram steps. This is to be or future process. For what else we included in our slides, MD50, MD70, we will look for example MD50. This is one example. So I will open MD50 functional specification. The functional person will sit with the users to collect how this integration is work, how this payment gateway work, how this legacy system is work. So after he got everything, he will build MD50. So he will go to down again, blah blah blah, and for example the purchase order number, column description like this, vendor sites, date, currency, and so on. And before of that he will include that this is for what. Here this document present the detailed specification of creating BO report. Yes, BO report is technical. So to be clear for the technical team, so I have to build what? I have to build MD50. After I build MD50, I shared with technical team. So the technical team, once he received it and got everything is okay with him, he will build what? MD70. Because by the end of the project, you as a functional team, you will deliver a document to the functional team of client. And it's the same way for the technical team. By the end of the project, the technical team of the implementer will deliver some documents as a technical document to the technical team of the client. So it's mapping here team, by the end two team, but by the end they are working together. If I have MD70, I think I don't have, but yeah, it's like a technically that once the technical receive, he will build MD70. Okay, let's go to the next stage, is building stage. On this building stage, that the work of performing setup and access to an instance begins. Now I collect the requirement, I build as is, got acceptance from client. After that I build to be, got acceptance from the client. What is the next step? Start to set up, to configure, to implement on an instance as a test. Because of what? Because once you finish these setups on test, you will ask the users or business users, give them training or whatever, to tell them please apply your expectations, your requirement, your future process, business process on these demos, and give me the feedback. Yes, this cycle is working fine as my expectation. This cycle is not working. This cycle is missing. These features is not enabled. This blah blah blah. You got my point? In case of functional requirement, it will be setups from the front end. In case of technical requirement, SQL script, customization, integrations, reports will be performed. Because once the users log into this instance, he will start the full cycle. I will create BO, approved, receive, make invoice, payment, transfer to GL, and post, and start to run the report. So everything must be finished on this instance to allow them test the whole cycle. Document all the setups that have been carried out at this stage, since it will be useful when the production instance is configured or when there is a system crash or corruption of data or any hardware failure. After performing all required setups, the system has to be tested for its readiness to carry out operations. you have خلاص you completed the setups. From your side you have to test at least one cycle for each cycles, for one cycle for B2B, one cycle for order to cash, one cycle for cash management, for fixed assets, like that. Yes, everything is working, done. خلاص I will ask the business users, the clients, please start to make your testing and give me your feedback. What is the documentation to be prepared from this stage? PR100, that the application setup. TE20, unit test script, that you have to set up or to test like this ways. After also, before that, you can arrange a meeting, like a training, whatever, that this is your username, password. From here you can go to payable, from here go to receivables, from here make a create accounting and test. This is the system test scripts with the screenshot. This is a screenshot of payable, this is a screenshot of GL, screenshot for receivable, screenshot of procurement. So this is the building stage. In case of and TE50, system integration test scripts for the technical team, if there are any integrations, so the other technical team of the organization or the clients need to make to check. I need to make integration on test or the test demos. So the technical team of the implementer will share the TE50 as a system integration test scripts with the technical of the client to allow them to get more knowledge about the integration. And TE120 as a system integration test plan. Again, you can, it's not required from your side to prepare or to provide all of this documentation. It depends on the project. Maybe in some project there is no integration, there is no anything related to technical, there is no test script, whatever. So you can deliver PR100 TE40, for example. This you will deliver to, for example, the consultant team of the client. That for this I set up, this is a document of the setups, will be a reference for you. This is for a test script and so on. So let's go to show you sample of BR100. BR100 account receivables is account receivables application setup, and another document for account payable, general ledger, cash management, and so on. So it depends on how many modules you are going to implement. So you have to create the same for each module. Version, date, author, blah blah blah. Here approvers, author, reviewers, blah blah blah. Content. I am going to define auto cash rule set, receivable quick code, auto invoice. What is the system option will be? This is depends on whatever you did in this instance. In test instance, I told you we will start to build, you start to implement. So once you finish the implement, you have to create this document to tell the consultant team of the client that in this I set up the 1, 2, 3. In this I allow these options, disable this option. For open and close I did 1, 2, 3. Go to down, you will find the steps. Go to here, screenshot. I did data entry, مش عارف, sorry, a client available. Here I created the lookup one for, this is the lookup what I created, this is the meaning. I create blah blah blah. So every step you implement, you enabled, you created. Here for the system options, first tab I did one, second tab, third tab, fourth tab, blah blah blah. This is the BR100. What else we can see? As I told you here, for example TE40, for example TE40. This is what test script. Test script means screenshot, again content, go to down, how to opening period, how to define bank, how to define distribution set, be invoice for goods, prepayment, blah blah blah. So this is the payable test scenarios. So after that, how to define bank, go to rule, actions, path, navigator, enter save your work, enter 1 2 3, expected result must be 1 2 3. Again, what is the action plan for defined distribution set? The rules which must be assigned to you. This is the action plan, this is the test. Create a standard invoice. How to create? Go to entered, batch, invoice direct, blah blah blah. This is a test script. Test script means the business users who are going to make daily transactions or day-to-day operations, he need to test, because you already completed the implementation setups or the setup steps on the test demo or the demo instance, so he are going to test. So this is like a guide for them to starting the testing. Before, after the testing, they will give you the feedback, either accepted, rejected, or in case of accepted, so you will go to the next step, which is make the same setup in production instance. Else there is some missing setups, this cycle is not meet my requirement, my expectations. Again, you need to fix it. You need to create a new version of these documents and again share it with him to retest again from scratch. This is a sample that again you can search by in Google TE2040 blah blah blah, and it depends on your implementer organizations or the client. I need this document, I need this document, I need you to follow OUM methodology, I need you to follow AIM methodologies. It's like agreement or whatever. The next stage is transition stage. Client is exposed to the application for the first time to get the comfort level. Me as a client, I give you the approval, acceptance that these test scenarios on test instance, everything is okay, and all of them meets my requirement. In order to make the client to get a feel to the system, user guides, training may be given in understanding how their business is completely taken care by the product. Once the client is exposed to the applications, they normally tend to show some interest in learning new things, which can be used for testing of the systems. Once the client is satisfied with the solution, the way in which the system performs, he can express his willing to accept the system. In real time, acceptance will be taken up to 2 levels. Acceptance means CRP as a first level, conference room piloting. Here the consultant gave a preview of the new system to the selected members of the clients and they get their feedback. CRB you can make CRB1, CRB2 until you got client as a satisfied or got the acceptance from satisfied or he accepts the requirement, he accepts the systems, he accepts everything. So this is a CRB. Second level or user acceptance testing, because as I told you, the business user of the client, he must try to test until he feeling that the new systems meet their expectations. So this is the this is the 2 level before going live, before doing the same implementation on production instance, on go live instance. CRP, whatever CRP numbers there, CRP1, CRP2, 100, and UAT. So in this case, you will get approved from the top of the client, stakeholders, management, blah blah blah, and not at the low level, but also another very important level, which is the business users, day-to-day operations team. Okay. And here, as I told you, there is it's not a document, but it's like meeting, whatever's your project manager role also will raise again here to got the final approval, sign off the documents, to give you like a green light to go live. Document to be prepared again as a user acceptance test reports that, yes, for example, this example we open this, so here can be actual result, approved, reject, missing, not meet our requirement. This is the result from the business user of the client. Next stage is goodbye stage. Once CRB UET approved acceptance by the client, it is the duty of the consultant to replicate the same in a new environment. A new environment here means production environment, prod instance, which will be used slowly and exclusively for the production purposes only. In this stage, you as a consultant, you will be feeling as relaxing because you got final approve for CRB, UET, everything. You just relaxing because you will, whatever you did in this instance, you will replicate it the same in the prod environment or prod instance. After making production server ready with all steps, it is advised to clone production server to development or test server so that any value addition or future testing can be carried out separately in the future. Once a production server is ready, it is given to client to begin their operation, which is termed as go live. In the go live, you will agree on a specific go live date. From that date, the client will begin to enter and to register their operations from AB, procurement, inventory, HCM, the whole cycles which is covered by all of these modules. In order to assist the client in adapting to the new system, after go live, you will provide user manuals for business users, how to do this, how to create AB invoice, blah blah blah, and also provide a support, because as you know that once the project go live, you will continue, for example, at least 6 months, 3 months, whatever, depends on your contract, for support for what? In case the business users face issues, facing any missing, need to resolve a report, blah blah blah. So you will continue the support, short time of period if needed. Once a production server is ready used, implementation gets over, the client should give it writing that he is satisfied with the implementation taking place, which is termed as sign off. Sign off means go live done, test done, documentations we received. So this is termed as a sign off, as a goodbye. Goodbye means everything is completed from you, your team, your project manager, and either continues as support consultant or the contract is finished and the client will bring a new organizations to continue the support. And also you will deliver all of the documentation, business users manuals, documentation setups, as is document, to be document, the technical document, because it will be a reference with the client in case in the futures they bring any new implementer, so they can show them this document to tell this new implementer how the previous implementer implement or what they did in this project. Document all of the documents, user acceptance, BR 100. We took a lot of document code, right? All of these documents must be prepared and provided to a client within the latest version, so that it's a good buy relation between you as implementer organizations and the client. I hope now to got what is the project stages, what is your rules, what is your technical team rules, what is your project manager to rules. In case if you have any questions, you can ask. Good luck.